So you're an internationally educated nurse, and you've got your eyes on Ontario? Perfect. You are in exactly the right place. We're going to break down the whole process of becoming a registered nurse, step by step, to make this huge journey feel a lot more manageable. Look, moving your nursing career to a whole new country is a massive undertaking. It's definitely a challenge, but you know what? It's also incredibly rewarding. Before we get into all the how-tos, let's just quickly touch on the why. The motivation that's going to get you through all this. And this quote right here, it just nails it, doesn't it? This whole process, it's not just about getting a job. It's about building a better life. It's about securing your future here in Canada. And let's be honest, unlocking your full earning potential. This is the goal, so let's jump into the very first step. Okay, so every big journey has a starting point, right? And for an international nurse coming to Ontario, that journey begins with getting your documents evaluated. This is where the National Nursing Assessment Service, or NANS as you'll hear it called, comes into the picture. So what exactly is this NNAS thing? Well, you can think of them as the national body that takes a good hard look at your education and your credentials from back home. Their whole job is to make sure your qualifications are comparable to Canadian standards. It's a really crucial first step to get your expertise validated here. The application itself is pretty straightforward, really, just 4 main steps. You'll go to their website, create an account, fill out all your info, personal, educational, professional. Then you pay the fee to get the ball rolling. After that, NNAS takes over and contacts your college to verify everything. The big takeaway here, just be super careful and accurate with every little detail. Now, the big question you're probably asking is, how long is this all going to take? Well, based on the experience we're looking at, you should probably budget about 3 months for NNAS to do their thing and issue what's called an advisory report. Yeah, it's a bit of a waiting game, but it's a necessary one. Once that report is finally in your hands, you have hit a major milestone. Seriously, that report is basically your golden ticket to the next stage. You'll send it over to the College of Nurses of Ontario, the CNO, and that's what makes you officially eligible for the big exams. All right, with your credentials verified, it is time to prove what you know, both clinically and when it comes to local rules. This next stage is all about tackling the 2 major exams. So, there are 2 exams, but trust me, they are worlds apart. First, you've got the NCLEX. This is the big one, the comprehensive test of all your clinical skills. Then there's the jurisprudence exam. This one just covers Ontario's specific nursing laws and ethics. And the key thing here is that it's described as very easy, which should tell you exactly where you need to focus most of your study time. And speaking of priorities, how much time should you block out for the NCLEX? Well, again, drawing from real-world experience here, a solid 3 months of dedicated prep seems to be a great benchmark. This is your time to just buckle down, study, review, and get really, really confident. If you ever feel overwhelmed by all of this, just come back to this piece of advice. The NNAS evaluation and those 2 exams, those are the primary things. They're the biggest hurdles. Everything else is secondary. Get past these, and you were so close to the finish line. All right, you've done it. You've cleared the biggest hurdles. Now it's time for the final checks. Think of this part as the last lap. Just a few important but honestly much more straightforward tasks to tick off the list. See, your final checklist is way, way simpler. It's basically a criminal record check and, for some people, a language proficiency exam. They're important for sure, but they're nothing compared to the NNAS process and the NCLEX. These are just the final items you need to complete before you can apply for that license. So we've walked through the what and the how, but let's circle back for a second to the most important question of all. Why does this journey matter so much? Because it really is about more than just a license. It's about your entire future. And this is the exact perspective you've got to keep in mind. All the administrative tasks, all the studying, the exams, all of that is temporary. The real goal here is to get that license in your hand so you can finally move past all the paperwork and just dedicate yourself to what you do best, building your career as a nurse. And that's really the bottom line. This entire process, from that very first NNS form to your final exam, is your direct path to a more secure, a more prosperous, and just a better life here in Canada. It's a journey that is worth every single bit of the effort. The only question left is, are you ready to take that first step?